Hello everyone, this is Darwell20, and welcome to episode 26 of Darwell20's Let's Play of ATM10 to the Skies, where today I am cutting up some bronze rods, and then I'll be cutting up some tin and aluminum ones in a moment, assuming that I got this all set up right. Aluminum going in there, awesome. Tin going in there, and then we should test, and perfect. Awesome. Just got all that going, which is cool. Next up, these dudes. So speaking of all those rods that I just clicked, we should add them here. So this is tin, right? Yeah, I want to kind of, not that it matters at all to do this, but like it's kind of cool. Let's do 20. Does that sound cool? Sweet. Okay. And then your job will be, actually keep one of each. Boop, boop, boop. And it doesn't matter exactly where these go, but here you're going to insert tin rods. Cool. And then here you can do bronze. And then here you can do aluminum. And then as a quick test, 1, 2, 3. Once aluminum gets there, I presume. Oh, and I should probably make sure that you're locked. Well, not locked, but linked. Where is my... Cool. 64, 64, perfect. Everybody's behaving. Great. So that means that, like, this whole giant mess is, like, done and cleaned up now, right? I believe... that looks pretty good. We are no longer doing any steamy, messy stuff. And in theory, there's nothing here that we care about anymore except for the steam going to this guy, right? So realistically, we should be able to remove pretty much all of this except for steam, because you're just doing the steam power thing, right? If I'm not mistaken, that's correct, right? Like, we are now just like, hey, steam turbine, and that's like all you do. That's cool. To do more and better power solutions. Kind of fully haven't decided if I'm gonna like eventually cheat and just, you know, use flux power, right? Flux networks and all that, and wireless. But for now, it's fun like wiring everything together. So I'm kind of enjoying the process of like doing this the proper way, quote unquote. But like, look how nice this looks. Way, way better. Cool. Something I want to do is rubber. Like, I am struggling with this. You're just not keeping up. So I want to get rubber going quick. So real quick before we get into like the other stuff I was going to do today. Rubber sheets in a mixer, it's synthetic oil and paper makes 2, or synthetic rubber and paper makes 12. Kind of a no-brainer. And synthetic rubber is simply the synthetic oil that we're already making in a mixer plus sulfur. So like, I think we get an electric mixer and we put that, this could be like in my miscellaneous-y area over here-ish. Yeah, let's set that up over here, right? So basically, we're gonna have, we should have like some fluids. Yeah, so this is gonna be like, let's get like a liquids-based doohickey here. Does that sound cool? My only concern would be like fluids, and piping, right? This may need to be like its own little thing kind of deal. Alright, so I'm taking a look to see what synthetic rubber can be used for. We can use it in the assembler like later on when we get to HV tier, so maybe that'll be a thing. But other than that, not much. Like, so for now, and maybe like, you know, I guess there's going to be like some really later stuff. We'll see. We'll see if I ever need it beyond anything. Like, in fairness, I can do this too, right? So it's like, we'll see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set you up to allow sulfur in. And that should now be starting to extract sulfur and synthetic oil. And that should be cool. Now, in fairness, we don't have a great line of power over here. I guess what I should do is run this over here. Like, I don't have, like, a great... In fairness, this probably shouldn't be this far away. In fairness, I should be doing it over on that island. So in fairness, I might... I decided because of fluids, I don't want it, like, part of one of these kind of, like, big setups, because fluid pipes we can't filter on, right? Unless I went something like laser IOE, which, you know, doesn't sound cool. Is everybody behaving, by the way? Yes. Yes. We're backstuffing. We're just, like, backstuffing slowly but surely. We gotta wait for more antimony to build up. But we have enough stuff that we're fine. So, how do I want to handle this? Like, maybe this can be one-off island? I like that. This can be one-off island? That sounds cool. So let's do that. Let's take you with all your sulfury mess. Right? You guys can chill for a minute, right? Basically, this is what I want to copy. Can I get my copier from you? Cool. Alright, so over here on one-off island, we will do stuff like this, where we will have... I'd like you to kind of be aligned with those machines. So what if we did this, right? I like this. Right, so you're going to be an electric mixer here. Give me another electric mixer if you don't mind. Those I don't have on autocraft, but maybe I should at some point. Okay. And then very similarly to how you're doing this, it's kind of like directly below the line. Yeah, it doesn't super matter how we... This is going to be one-off island, so, like, kind of figure it out as we go. But, let's get some cables. Okay. And then, ultimately, you're going to be an interface. And because this is one-off island, we might want, like, you know, lessy typey stuffies. I don't know, we'll find out. So you're gonna go in here, right? Going up, and you're gonna go down, and you're gonna be extracty. And then if I do this, cool. And let me steal Buddy the crafting card. We don't need to exist no more, right? And then you don't need to exist no more. Oh, and you should probably have some channels in play. Because I just killed that, right? Oh, and we might be choking out on channels now. 7 out of 8? Alright, so time to do P2P as well. But then we can get our axe. Okay, and you're going to chill here. Okay, so you're going to get the synthetic oil going in. Okay, you're going to auto-eject items up, and you're going to auto-eject fluids in this direction. Okay, and then for item cards, or item pipes, you're going to that, nope, and then that, and then you're going to insert sulfur, and you're going to insert paper, And that should be cool. And then don't forget you need to be that. Cool. So now you're inserting that and doing that, and that's all good. And then you can tin cable up here. Cool. So now you're going to make synthetic rubber. You're going to auto-eject it to the right, and then you're going to get the synthetic rubber and make all the things. Is that cool? And then I give you your crafting card, along with some paper. Where did your crafting card go? Nope, I found it. Thank you. And now you're going to keep paper in stock, and that should be cool. Right? And that will make rubber a lot faster and more efficiently with my synthetic oil. And you've stopped running because you don't have enough synthetic oil yet. Okay, cool. Yeah, because you have to do a bucket at a time. It's a bucket at a time per craft, but it's still way more efficient, right? Because it's still 100 makes 2, 100 makes 12, and this is a 1-to-1 recipe. It just requires a bucket. So trust me better. Okay, so that's cool. So I wanted to do that because I kept running out of rubber for the things I was trying to make. Okay, so now what we want to do is these guys. So where are we at with silicon at this point? We can make silicon ingots, right? So last episode we got this going. I'm thinking I might want to store more silicon than that. Seems like a good plan. You know what my problem is? You know what my honest to goodness problem is? Quartz. So maybe we take a break from modern for a minute, because we've been doing a lot of that. Can we get a quartz geode? That would be cool. How do we get budding quartz geode? Block casting. Molten quartz over a 1x sand block? Does that seem exceedingly simple, or is it just me? 2 blocks and 1 gem of quartz, so 900 millibuckets of quartz. So 9 quartz. Over here. So let's turn you off for a minute. Let's put quartz in the thing. And then what we're going to want is another drain. Cool. And then a tap. Hey, don't face that way. What do you think you're doing? Right? And then a casting dude. And like, that's it? Because that's pretty cool. That I thought was going to take more than 5 seconds. I was not prepared for that to be that quick. I was like, hey, let's take a break from modern industrialization for a minute and figure out how geode works. Oh, already done. Okay, then. That's cool. Right? So, like, you guys are chilling over here with boosted and directional growths. Somebody somewhere told me directional growth accelerators do not work with geode. Let's find out if that's true. Now, I'm assuming that if I break this, it's like broken, right? Now, I might be able to cut and paste it, but I kind of also remember that not being a thing. Oh, nope, I can cut and paste it. Well, that's cool. Unless directional, I'm assuming that's like the output face of directional, but I might be wrong. All right, you also need power, don't you? Yeah, you do. That would be cool. Let's get you some power. Oh, no, that's totally working. Is that cool? So what's the deal? You only go up 1 or something? Interesting. Interesting. So here's the deal. I can just do a simple breaker. Right? And then you go and get smelted into quartz. Right? So here's a fun idea. I get a Celestia gem pick. I get a drops teleporter. And I bind you the top face of that. And then we only need a simple block breaker with you in it. And then you're automatically doing that. Cool. Now, do you respond to a redstone signal? That's an exceptional question. I actually have levers. No. However, think AE2 has like a cable dude that does, right? There's like a cable quartz fiber ME toggle bus. I think that's it, right? Yes. So if I made an ME toggle bus, right? I'm curious how much power this is costing me. Directional growth accelerator is 160 AE per tick, which in Forge energy is 320 FE per tick. It's a lot. It's a lot. And the 400 is high too. So I like this. I do. But I want to build this smarter. So we will spend a minute doing this in a smart way. Boop. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Did I get him? I can't tell. Did I pick him up? He might have fallen into the void. Not the end of the world. We'll live. So like let's put this somewhere smartish. This is kind of my like resource gen island, right? So what I could do, all we need is power for this. We don't need channels, right? So like let's put a boosted growth accelerator. If I put you above it, in fact, like right here, kind of. I want an ME toggle bus here, and then that. Okay. So you're online at the moment. Okay. If I gave you a lever, this stuff can all go away, by the way. You're offline. Perfect. And then we put you. And then I brought you down a Y level. What side would you be all I'm doing crazy things with? Probably placing it above still, which is interesting. Right. Cool. Okay. So that, right. So that, he's got power, but he's going to run out of power in a minute. Right. Right. You do seem to have energy, despite device online. Device online. Is that not where the connector is? Device online. Quartz online. What I really want is a level emitter. Threshold level emitter, is that what I want? Get that. Let's get the threshold. Well, I don't think I even need the threshold. I think we just do regular level emitter. So if I put you here and like that, and then like this, and then like that, and then I want Quartz emit when levels are below 32. He should be off, right? So that still says device online. Why is that device online? Am I not understanding what the toggle bus does? All right, we're back. So what we want to do is set this thing up. I got it working, by the way. So I've got this guy set up. I want him to be 512. And then I want this allow list to be a block allow list Quartz Geor cluster. Cool. And then once we get 512 Quartz, which should happen pretty quickly, because I don't know if you're noticing here, but, you know, even without Fortune or anything on that pick, we're getting like 4G or, you know, per break. So that'll hit 512. And then he stops. And we cut off the power and we save energy. Right? He'll grow slowly on its own, which is fine. And then, you know, when we drop below that threshold of Quartz, he's running again because the signal turns on. And when we go above 512, he's off. Is that cool? Now, I had to use the advanced block breaker only so we could power the gem pickaxe, right? So if we had an unbreakable pickaxe in here, you know, there'd be a thing we could do, but like, you know, all good. I think for now, that's cool. Now, what I'll probably do is as we find other Geors, we can add them along like, you know, a similar line and kind of follow a similar pattern here of like, hey, disable the power of the accelerator, and that would be cool. Is that a deal? I like that. All right, so with that all cooking, we've now got enough Quartz going on. Because our problem was we were using a lot of Quartz over here, right? Bumped this guy up, so he's at, you know, 512-ish now that he can store. Let's get the silicon plates going finally. So that's going to need silicon ingots in a compressor. So that just needs you to be silicon ingots, right? So we just need silicon ingots and silicon ingots. And you should on-demand craft that, and then you should be inserting, and then you should be storing. Cool. And that'll keep, you know, 500-ish of them. Do I want that many? I mean, I guess. Seems like a lot. But, like, yeah, let's just do it. Whatever. I idle for an hour or two and it'll be cool, right? I could even accelerate this if I really needed to. You know, in fairness, you know, LB doesn't respond well to tick accelerating, but all good. All right, so then we've got silicon plate. You're cool. What I want is P-doped and N-doped silicon wafers, right? So you're going to need tiny aluminum dust in a chemical reactor, and you need tiny antimony dust. Oh, good, that thing that we definitely don't have enough of in a chemical reactor. So that feels like you know, miscellaneous island type work, right? Now a chemical reactor needs a large pump, which needs a large motor, which needs the things that we can't currently make without stuff. So like, do what now? How? You need the p-doped. Do what now? Diode. Oh, we can do it without p-doped. So never mind, we can skip that whole p-doped thing, right? These two have a non-p-doped recipe, it looks like. Right? This version. Cool. So does that mean we can make our large motor? Yes, with enough rubber sheets, which we only don't have because I forgot to link you back up. Right? Large motor. Cool. And then large pump, I think, uses large motor. Oh, yeah. Quest completed. Advanced electronics. And then, read this carefully. Somebody had Dyer in mind when they wrote this. This will help. Modern industrialization machines work differently to other mods. All machines have an efficiency multiplier. This goes up as you have a recipe in the machine that it makes. Efficiency increases the speed of the machine. Efficiency resets when the recipe changes. If you are advised to use one machine per one recipe, producing components passively. This is how the mod is supposed to be played. Upgrades will make the system better. This will be covered in the future. All machines from this mod except FE as power. 16 FE converts to 1 EU of power. Cool. So guess what? I already knew that. Now we've got a bunch of electric machines that I've since, you know, made, and I don't feel like breaking, but like, yeah. Circuit components. We already have all these. So here's the deal. I needed circuit components in order to make advanced components. So, like, I already made all of this. You just didn't recognize it because, like, it happened before I did the thing. So I'm going to have to, like, pick up stuff to make you acknowledge what I did, aren't I? Okay. So that means I'm going to put you back. Cool. So that got that done. I don't know if vending machine was on the list. That gets that done. Wire mill, do we have any of those? Yep. Compressor. Let's give me a quick cutting machine. Just so I can complete some of these quests. I'm pretty sure I've got most of what I need for a blast furnace still. Because I made a blast furnace. And I know I'm going to need another one eventually, so I might as well make the Cooper-Nickel things. An electric mixer. We did have... let me just make one real quick. I don't feel like breaking the current electric mixers I have, and the reason being that I'll lose the liquids in them. Alright, what are you missing? Item outputs. Input, bronze, item input hatch. Output, bronze, item output hatch. LV. Cool. 18 Cooper-Nickel. That is incorrect, sir. It is 16 Cooper-Nickel. It is 16 Cooper-Nickel, not 18. Incorrect quest. Polarizer. We definitely had a polarizer. I kind of want another one of those anyway. But look how awesome it is. Being able to just like, yeah, I've got all this, right? The assembler we have not made yet. That might be a cool thing to make. That might be a cool thing to make. That might be like a pretty near cool thing to make. Cool. I'm going to put all this away. Except maybe the polarizer, which I kind of want to keep. What else we got? Electric alloy smelter? I totally made one of those. Didn't I have one of these already? I did. I totally did. I'll make another one just because. Right? And then that's pretty much all the quests. Packer and unpacker and furnace I don't care that much about. Can I just all at once hand these in? No, because you're going to give me random rewards. I wish that hand-in button... Because, like, the hand-in button doesn't work when there's a random reward. It should, though. Like, I get it not working when you're doing, like, the picker reward. Like, the one where you get to pick what your reward is. But when it's a random reward like this, you know, shouldn't matter too much. Cool. And we got some basic upgrades. Electric machine upgrade, max overclock 2, total maxed up. Alright, neat. I guess that one of those was a reward, and then we could make more if we need. And then we need diode, transistor, and electric circuit board, right? If I do this, it should give me everything I need, right? Cool. And then we can make the electric circuit. Hooray! And that's cool. Nice. All right, so what do you say we wrap up here? We'll come back next time, and we will continue on the... maybe we'll do more modern, maybe we'll take a break. I don't know, we'll see. Probably should pay attention to what the comments are saying right at this point. I'm debating if it's somewhere between like, yes, we're loving this, keep doing it, or oh my goodness, you've been doing this too much, stop these now. But we'll find out. For now, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.